This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Thursday. Carpenter's still out. I'm Tito. Jeff Thitoff. To my left, Jehovah. That's me Googling nicknames for Jay-Z.
I figured when I saw that one, I was like, he's searching now.
Searching now.
Don't search too much. You might find something you don't want to see about the Hove.
I don't want to see if I'm on a list somewhere.
Exactly.
That's Justin Zwick to my left, Bodie on the other side of the glass there. The glass that no longer exists. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. We got a big show lined up for you today. Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, and HD3. Download the show anytime and catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Also on Facebook and Twitter. We are live there as well. Join the chat in YouTube if you'd like. That's always lively. I believe, Bodie, we should make a command decision that if anybody mentions the Westminster Dog Show, they will get put in timeout. I'm past that. I'm beyond that. I'm done with that. How you doing today, Jay-Z?
I'm doing all right. I'm trying to figure out what you have against the Doberman.
Nothing against the Doberman. If we had a 2-hour and 15-minute show, we'd have a segment about it. Unfortunately, we have a 2-hour show.
Fair enough.
As I mentioned, 2 full hours here on YouTube. I'll say it again. The Fan app, HD3, Facebook, Twitter. Download the show anytime. Catch 10 a.m. noon on 10 TV Plus. Typically on a Thursday, we will have Albert Breer on and Ya Highness. We are unsure about Breer because I think he's out in Frisco. And I know he's busy. Look, out there the Super Bowl week especially, I'm sure he's crazy busy with stuff. And we did not get a confirmation from him or not. So if he's not, it'll be witty banter in the 7 o'clock segment. But then, yes, we will have Ya Highness for wittier, higher banter, I would think, after that. So we will do all that. Lots to talk about today with college football going on. Some stuff with college football I want to talk about. At some point, probably we should preview the Super Bowl. I don't know if we'll do that today or tomorrow, but just hang on for that. And the Jackets last night get a win 4-0 over the Blackhawks.
How about that? What a finish right before the Olympic break, huh?
Yes.
Catching fire, making all of Columbus excited about the possibilities.
Back-to-back shutouts.
I know. This is great.
I don't know. Bodie, this is called required show research. I wonder the last time was the Jackets had back-to-back shutouts.
I'm guessing it's been a minute.
There we go.
Yep.
That concludes our Jackets coverage. Look, some of the chat's going to tell us. I didn't read Porty's story about it yet, but yes, I'm sure Porty has a story in the Athletic. We'll have to look that up at some point. The Cavs, we don't need no James Harden. They win without him, 124-91 against the Clippers. Nice win for them. OSU men and women both in action tonight. The OSU men at Maryland at 8:30. OSU women at Washington at 9. The OSU women come in ranked number 9. Washington 24. Olympics, some of the events have already begun, which is always kind of weird. They play some things before.
It's like the playing games.
It's like some events before the opening ceremony. Yeah. How much of the Olympics will you guys consume?
Oh, I'm going to consume a lot of it.
You are?
I'm going to be out west doing some skiing myself here this coming weekend. And so I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be wanting to watch that when we get in. I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to see those guys do what they do when you have been on skis or a snowboard, and you're like, I know how hard that is.
Yeah.
If I get an inch off the ground, I feel pretty cool. And those guys are just flying through the air. And, you know, it's incredible. So I'm looking forward to it. Curling is always one of my favorite sports to watch.
Curling's fun to watch.
I think I wrote a paper on it in college or in high school, my senior year maybe. So that's always been one. Like I've always wanted to try that. And I think there is one here in Columbus. I need to get over there.
There's Columbus Curling Club. Yeah. I think somebody on our show might have been.
I think Austin.
Was it
and
Austin
Beamer?
Beamer?
Well, Beam last night went on the Buckeye Show. I was talking to him about it, and he said he did do it. And he said it's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Because you got to kind of like get down there, and he said he fell and like hit his face and. You know, really unathletic. But anyhow, that'd be fun.
I think they had to throw shade at him on that one. You just said it's really hard. He's unathletic.
Well, you know.
That's okay. No, first, we're not breaking any news on that. Okay. You're not breaking any news on that. That's okay.
But I'm excited. It's, you know, it only comes around every now and then, and get to see these athletes. And Lindsey Vonn ripped her ACL up, and then she's like, I'm going.
Right. She's going to try to go
on the
still.
legs out a long way from the heart.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I used that last night.
Hey.
My son was playing 2-on-2 with some guys. I'm there with a couple of dads watching. My son falls down. I'm like, God, he's holding his knee. I said, kid, that bruise on the knee is a hell of a way from the heart. The other dads looked at me and they weren't sure if I was being serious, like if that's really how I parent or if I was just trying to be funny. And honestly, it's a little bit of both.
It's kind of like right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle there. Right
All
in the
right,
middle
Tito.
there. Yes, sir.
The last time the Blue Jackets had
Here we
back-to-back shutouts by two different goalies.
Yes.
It was 2010, 2011 from Porty there.
Okay.
So I don't know if that
Let
was.
me think. 10 and 11 might be, is it Swiss Cheese Mason maybe back then, one of them?
Yep.
And then who was the other goalie everyone loved and didn't want to trade? He was like, oh, God, what was his name?
Elvis?
No, it wasn't Elvis. This was like way back. This was, what's his name?
Bob?
Matthew Guerin.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. What I got wrong? It was yeah, there was another guy they had that used to be a backup for a long time and then ended up going, I want to say to the Kings, but anyway. Thank you, Porty. Thank you, Bodie. I'm sorry. It's a Brody Thursday.
Thank
Brody.
Brody. All I did was read.
There we go. All right, Bodie, why don't you do what the unenviable task of making me smarter?
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby
Bodie Wells.
Carpenter.
All right, do your thing.
All right, guys. February 5th, 2026, the 36th day of the year. Marcus Smart. At least he was for the Celtics.
Yes,
no
he
idea
was.
what number he's wearing now for the Lakers, if I'm being honest with you.
with the
300.
Lakers?
He's still playing?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Still hanging
He's
in
got to
there.
be. He's been in there for a while then, hasn't he?
2014 draft. So,
Yeah, okay,
a dozen years.
Or half of LeBron's career.
Yeah. 329 days left here until we get to 2027. Can't wait. Some events. We'll jump all the way to the 20th century here. Not a lot going on in this date in the history of the world. But in 1901 on this date, the first loop-the-loop roller coaster opens up on Coney Island in New York. It was built by Edwin Prescott. Not sure if any relation to Dak there, but probably
Could be.
not.
Could be.
1969, the United States population reaches 20 million people. I think we're up to about 330. Give or
Yeah, I
take.
think it's
Does that
about right. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
about
so
right,
we
yeah.
are on our way
That we
to
know of.
doubling that.
We're not doing politics. I just said that we know of. Let's just move on.
You never know.
You don't know.
On that same date in 1969, on that same day, I should say, on this date, 1969, Vince Lombardi becomes the part owner, vice president, general manager, and head coach. Sounds like Jerry Jones of the Washington Redskins. 1972, Bob Douglas becomes the first African American elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame. 1975, Sugar Ray Leonard makes his professional debut with a 6-round unanimous decision over Louis Vega at Baltimore's Civic Center. 1981, some more wrestling. Not the real stuff, but the fake one. The first primetime network televised wrestling match in more than 30 years. Andre the Giant defeats Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
There you
What
go.
do you mean not real?
Well, depends on
Come on, man. Don't talk to me, Brady. Be careful what you say if the kids are listening. You gotta be really careful with
My
these
bad,
things.
my bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
Apologies. Big day, Thitoff. How about this one? When I saw this, I thought of you, and it put a smile on my face. Because on this date, back in 1990, the first college football team to sell its games to a major network and have all their home games ever since air on NBC, Notre Dame and NBC come to an agreement. And then the first game of that would be played a little more than a year later, first game of the 1991 season.
Now 1991, and who might be the next Notre Dame legend? Could it be junior quarterback Rick Meyer?
No.
Or tight end Derek Brown, who will
Nope.
finally emerge from the Rockets' fleeting shadow? Or will this season feature junior linebacker Demetrius DeBose as the focus of the Irish defense? Will Coach Lou Holtz push Notre Dame's captain Rodney Culver into the All-America spotlight? The answers begin today against Indiana, as Coach Bill Mallory's team resumes a rivalry that stretches back to the 1800s. Today, for the first time in 33 years, Notre Dame plays Indiana.
Dick Enberg on the call with Bill Walsh. I don't know that I would call Notre Dame and Indiana a rivalry, considering they basically never play as far as I can remember.
Coming up, though.
But I did thought it was, got a home and home coming up. And I thought it was kind of funny that that was the first game on NBC. And the only time in my lifetime that the Irish have played in South Bend not on NBC was against Indiana in the playoffs last year. Or
What
2
was
years
the
ago.
score
I
of
guess
that
now.
first game? Is it on there?
I saw it yesterday. I think it was 49-27.
That was the old Indiana.
Yeah.
That was the old Indiana.
Got a few Super Bowls here on this date. Actually, Tito, this is a big day for you. No tongue in cheek. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl XL. I forgot to write down the actual number of that, but it was 20 years ago, so that'd be 40, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
XL sounds like 40, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because L is 50, X is 10. You put the
Yeah,
X in
so
front,
put
X
the
in
X in front,
front. Yeah.
that's
Look at us.
That's what we do here, man.
Just
Show
do some
prep.
math.
That game was played up at Ford Field in Detroit. MVP of that game?
That one, was that Heinz Ward?
That was Heinz Ward. Yep, good job. A couple more Super Bowls here. On 2012, on this date in 2012, Super Bowl 46, I remember to write that one down, was played at Lucas Oil Stadium over there in Indianapolis. The Giants, for a second time in a 4-year stretch, beat the Patriots 21-17. MVP of that one was, again, quarterback Eli Manning.
The Giants start from the 12. 4-man rush. Eli throwing into traffic on the sideline. They're going to rule it a catch by Manningham. Along the sideline, they're going to spot the ball at the 50-yard line.
You know, Justin, better pass than catch.
I can still picture that. There's some like throws. It wasn't even mine, but as a quarterback, I remember that play. Like, oh my, he dropped that in the bucket.
He wanted to stop. He wanted to stop, and he gets into the end zone. That's exactly what New England was doing. They were letting him go into the end zone, and Bradshaw had such a big hole, and he's trying to fall down at the 1-yard line, but at least he gets into the end zone. And at the end of this sequence, the Patriots are still going to need a touchdown and not a field goal.
Bradshaw got down to the half-yard line, and he tried to slam on the brakes, and his momentum just fell him into the end zone. The Pats almost had a shot at it, if I remember correctly. I think Brady threw up a Hail Mary that kind of got tipped around for a second, and I think it was Gronk who had a shot at snagging it. But unfortunately, every dog has his day. I really miss Al Michaels.
You know what? Al
and not
Michaels.
Amazon Prime Al Michaels.
No, I know what you mean, yeah. Younger, more energetic, engaged Al Michaels is so much better than this one.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell a huge difference.
Yeah.
But when sportscasters get old like that, Vince Scully's probably the only one who I remember who kind of stayed the same throughout. Even like Brenneman, who I love, Marty Brenneman. But like, as he got older, he got pretty snarky. Yeah. You know, he's still engaged on him. He was still like, he would say, like that kind of stuff, you know?
I think Michaels sometimes on those Thursday nights, like, son, I've called Super Bowls. I called the Miracle on Ice.
Right.
Yeah.
You think I care about this
sitting here on a
Jags-Titans
Thursday
game?
night watching
Thursday
race.
night.
What's the big selling point here? It's a color rush night between the Jags and the Titans.
And then last event here, another Super Bowl 50. Once again, I forgot to write down the number. LI 51, right?
LI's 51,
Yeah,
yes.
there we go. Okay. Super Bowl 51 played in Houston. The Patriots, greatest comeback in the probably Super Bowl history, and probably one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, especially for an individual game. The Patriots come all the way back and beat the Falcons after being down 28-3. They win it in overtime 34-28. MVP of the game was Tom Brady.
Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his 5th! What a comeback! Another look to make sure. James White driving.
Definitely one of the crazier Super Bowls we've had in a long time.
28-3.
Yeah.
I think if I was a
tough one to
Falcons
swallow.
fan, I don't know if I'd come back from that one.
That's tough.
I'd be retiring as a fan from pro football, at least after that game. Some birthdays here. Born on this date in 1934. Sadly, he passed away in 2021. But the Hall of Famer, 1957 MVP, 25-time All-Star, and second most home runs all time in Major League Baseball history. That'd be the man they called Hank, Henry Aaron.
Sitting on 7-14. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. The fireworks are going. Henry Aaron is coming around third. His teammates are at home plate, and listen to this crowd. A sellout crowd is cheering Henry Aaron, the home run king of all time. 7:15.
I believe he had tied the record opening day that year in Cincinnati. And think if you had a ticket to that game, because you'd get to see that. And also Jackie Robinson came out and spoke on the field before the game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Continuing with birthdays here, turning 84 years old today, the 1963 Heisman Trophy winner, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys. Now he did a little bit of in between, went over and fought in a war.
Yeah.
That would be Roger Staubach, turning 84 years old today.
In the 1972 divisional playoff, the former naval officer demonstrated why he earned the nickname Captain Comeback, throwing 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes. During an 11-year NFL career, Staubach led 15 fourth-quarter comeback victories, including this one that gave birth to the term Hail Mary.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle. Roger takes the snap, pumps it once. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5. Touchdown! Would you believe it?
What if the Catholic Church got mad about that? Hail Mary means so much, in their in their vernacular.
It popularized it more.
It did,
right?
but it also kind of made it like, wait, that's a Hail Mary? That's
part of a prayer, man.
That's a Hail Mary?
60-yard touchdown.
That's what you're saying, yes.
College basketball and NBA. Former Michigan head coach and former Cavaliers head coach who got, I think, fired for saying some words that maybe he shouldn't have. That'd be Don Beeline. He turned 73 years old today. Actress Laura Linney turned 62 years old today, probably most famous for her role in both Ozark and The Truman Show.
You can't stand me.
That's not true. Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
I've tasted other cocos. This is the best.
What the hell does this have to do with anything? Tell me what's happening!
Well, you're having a nervous breakdown. That's what's happening.
You're part of this, aren't you? You're scaring me, Meryl. What are you gonna do? Dice me? Slice me or peel me? There's so many choices!
No! Do something!
Say something, damn it. You're live in front of the whole world. A little bit of music here. The bassist for Guns N' Roses, the man they call Duff, Michael McKagan, turned 62 years old today.
I'm not there yet. Not gonna lie to you.
Warm that voice up a little.
Gotta tell you, man, it's early.
We'll replay that later so you can.
Thank you very much.
You get a second chance.
Big day for the new Browns head coach, Todd Monken. He turned 60 years old today. And then it got a couple of all-time soccer greats, I would say. I'm not super locked into the sport, but I've heard of these two guys, which to me leads to believe they should be pretty good.
Yes.
Cristiano, wow.
Okay, yeah, you do know the guys. Ronaldo. Just say Ronaldo. That's all I gotta say is Ronaldo.
Turns 41 years old today. Yes. And then Neymar turns 34 years old today. Some passing away on this day in 1984, just at the age of 57, sadly. Chuck Cooper, he was the first black player to ever be drafted into the NBA. He was drafted by the Celtics. Second round, but 13th overall pick. So a little bit of a smaller league back in the day. Yep. A couple actors. Kirk Douglas passed away on this date in 2020 at the age of 103. Man lived a life. And then 1 year later, after that, 2021, actor Christopher Plummer passed away at the age of 91. And then, I can't believe this has already been 2 years ago, but country music singer Toby Keith passed away on this date in 2024 at the age of 62.
Just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy.
I had a sidekick with a funny name, Tito. Holidays and observances today. It is National Chocolate Fondue Day. That's fun. Optimist Day, first Thursday in February. And then, Tito, I don't know if you're free later, but it is National Shower with a Friend Day. So you're free this evening.
Glad I'm just filling in.
If you want to shower with me at It Happens, I'm just kidding.
Bring your birth certificate just to make sure on that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I got for you guys there. February 5th, 2026, 36th day of the year, 329 days left.
Well done.
2026.
Well done as always. By the way, I catch a lot of crap on the station for a certain thing. And locally, I would say nationally, but locally for this. Browns leave. I'm a huge Browns fan. Browns are gone for a few years. I'm a free agent fan.
That's when you became a Steelers fan?
Yes.
How ddid you do that? You should catch flack for that.
They come back, and I tried to get back into the Browns, and it wasn't the same for me. It was nothing about that. Those were not my Browns. I married into a Steelers family.
Oh, well.
Okay, so that's what happened there. I heard an interview because, believe it or not, I listen to other shows, not just shows here on The Fan. I listen to all kinds of sports talk shows. I heard an interview with one Steve Kerr. We all respect Steve Kerr, right?
Chatter Steve Kerr or Warriors head coach Steve Kerr?
Warriors head coach.
Chicago Bulls
Oh, yes.
player,
No, yeah,
Steve Kerr.
There's no way I'm talking about that Steve Kerr, yes. And he said he grew up a Rams fan. Rams left for St. Louis, came back, and he became a 49ers fan. He was asked, like, wait, that's like one of their in-state rival and stuff. Like, how could you possibly? He said, look, that girlfriend broke up with me. I didn't break up with her. She tried to come back. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this again.
I feel like, I don't know.
I don't think that's the same.
Rooting for the rivals tough. If you would have went Bengals.
Yeah.
I could understand that. You're in Ohio. You want to root for an Ohio team, but you went across the border and for those.
Yeah, like if Notre Dame ceased to exist,
yeah,
the chances of me rooting for Michigan or Southern Cal, like come on, man, I'd be dead before that happened.
I'm right behind Steve Kerr now, waving my Steelers flag. That's what I'm doing. Steve Kerr and I.
You and Steve Kerr.
That's
a good
fine.
group to be in.
Well, as long
multiple-time NBA champion.
As long as we qualify which Steve Kerr it is. You're right. It's a fair question. When I said Steve Kerr and you said which one, that's a very fair point on that one. What do we got here? Coming up next, we teased it yesterday. Worst quarterbacks to ever start a Super Bowl. We're going to dive deeper into that. And also, is there a conspiracy in college basketball? Ooh. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-228-4544. That's 380-228-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're already there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
I must have been snarky when I put this together because it feels kind of mean-spirited to talk about the worst quarterback starting a Super Bowl ever. We got a couple of I mean, Darnold's not a bad quarterback. Darnold's been an underachiever. He's redeemed himself, I would say. I wouldn't put him on this list.
His career's kind of been resurrected a little bit here with that.
Yeah,
move.
I would say so. I would not put him on the level of some of these guys who are on this list. This one, I found this list. It was put together by Adam Silvers, not Adam Silver, with a website called Complex. But anyway, he ranked the 15 worst starting quarterbacks in Super Bowl history. And number one on the list, he had Joe Kapp. Joe Kapp is a guy from the Vikings who played for them. I don't know which, they lost 23-7 to the Chiefs. That would have been Super Bowl 4, if I'm not mistaken. But he only played 3 seasons in the NFL and started 1 Super Bowl, which I think is pretty cool. And I saw this other fun fact about it. I don't know if it's fun or not. It's a fact. He's the only quarterback to play in the Super Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Grey Cup up in Canada. So that's kind of interesting.
He's so pedestrian. He couldn't even get a contract following the Super Bowl season.
Right, that's another one there. That's how pedestrian he was.
I just read that line like, oh, that's not good.
Yes. Also, number 2 on the list is Vince Ferragamo. Vince Ferragamo took over mid-season for the Rams in 1979, I believe, and then 78 season, 79 game? No, 79 season, 80 game, and then went up against the Steelers, and he ended up, in the 1980 season, he was decent. And then he went to play in Canada, came back and sucked after that. Rex Grossman third. I can get behind that.
That's what started this whole thing yesterday.
Yeah, Rex Grossman, yeah.
The highlight of Rex Grossman throwing a pick 6.
Right. Number 4, David Woodley, played for the Dolphins. He was their starting quarterback before they got Marino. And that was the strike season when he ended up being, when like the Dolphins were something like 7-2 or whatever it was, and ended up going to the Super Bowl, I believe. Trent Dilfer, number 5.
This is where it starts to come in for me because these are the guys I remember.
Trent Dilfer. And that it sucks for Dilfer. I mean, they won the game. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't. He didn't play awful. He didn't play great either. But he was 12 for 25, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks in that game. But
I gotta imagine that was kind of his stat line all year long.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that defense they had, he was just like, "Don't mess this up for us." And
if you have a game like that, we call it the Trent Dilfer game. Yeah. Number 6 was Kerry Collins.
This is the hardest one. For Super Bowl performance.
Yes.
Rough day.
15 of 39, 112 yards, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Yeah, Kerry. Top 10 pick, I believe, the NFL draft too. Number 7 is kind of mean-spirited. Craig Morton had a decent career, but he started for the Broncos against the Cowboys, his former team, the Broncos. Or his former team, the Cowboys, I'm sorry. They lost 27-10 when there were 2 defensive players. I believe Harvey Martin and Randy White for the Cowboys were named MVP. Tony Eason was bad. He was 8. He was in that he started in that game against the 85 Bears. And he got injured, but before he got injured, he went 0 for 6 passing. None of them were interceptions, but 0 for 6.
Listen, if he hadn't gotten hurt, though.
You never know.
And he was about to get hot. It's like your voice is just getting warmed up.
Could have been 46-17. Chris Chandler's on the list at 9. Billy Kilmer at 10. Those guys. Hostetler 11. I think that's kind of mean-spirited also. But anyway, we don't have that problem this year. And by the way, if you're starting quarterback at a Super Bowl, that's not the worst thing in the world.
You're in the NFL starting quarterback. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
You got to the Super Bowl. That's pretty awesome.
Luka
you throw 4 interceptions and you have 100 yards. That's not so great.
But
hey, you're still there.
Yeah. Boston Celtics center Luka Garza has a theory, Brody.
Oh.
And now, you remember this guy, he was National Player of the Year back in 2021 with Purdue.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Iowa. I'm sorry, Iowa. Yep. Same thing. He was Iowa's. He ended up being Iowa's all-time leading scorer. But he was doing a podcast. It's called White Noise Podcast with Derek White and Alex Welsh.
That's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
He said that
Clever
he thinks
podcast name.
He thinks that Michigan State, this was his quote, I think Michigan State purposely puts the basket they're going to shoot in the first half on that side on purpose. What he's saying is that one rim is tighter.
Ooh.
And if you don't swish it, it's not going in. He says Michigan State always takes that rim and puts it on the side they're going in the first half. So they might fall behind, but then in the second half, they've got the easier rim. And that's why you can always come back and win, and the other team gets frustrated.
Your legs are tired. You're maybe not putting as much on it. And
yes.
Yeah.
He said because the rim, you have to swish it, it doesn't go in. I think they do it to themselves. So they're down in the first half. They come back in the second half. Every time we go there, it's the same story. This is my conspiracy theory. He played 3 games in East Lansing. And his first game he played, he was 1 for 10 from the field.
Ooh.
Second game, he was 8 for 21. Third game, 3 for 11. That comes out to 28.6%, 12 for 42 in the games he played there. Hawkeyes lost 2 of those. In his 4 years at Iowa, he shot 55% from the field. Quite a difference there. He's convinced.
It's a good defense.
It's the worst rim in college basketball, he says.
I would just say that he may be right. I don't know. But if it was ever proven, that would put Connor Stallions to shit. Like that's
a
nothing,
big deal, right?
I don't know though, because you're doing it to yourself too. I mean, you got to play on it.
That's true.
You know, I mean, like you're
fair,
you're technically going down in the first half. You know, it's like.
But also though, if I'm a coach, I might say to my team, we're going to slow the game down in the first half. We're going to eat up the clock. We're going to take fewer shots in the first half than we do in the second half. Yeah. And then we'll go balls to the wall because we're behind, and I want to play fast, get a lot of shots in the second half.
Or would you want to go all out in the first half, just get up by as much as possible,
and then go to the easy rim?
Because is the opponent on the easy rim?
The opponent's on the easy rim in the first half.
So go all out, shoot as much as you can on that easy rim.
Well, the opponent would, No, I'm saying like in the first half, the Michigan State's going against a tighter rim in the first half.
Yeah.
Slow it down there.
Yes, Michigan State's perspective.
Or the other team.
But if Michigan State knows that's the situation.
Yeah.
If you're the other team,
you get the good hoop while you're fresh and while you're going out there. Right.
He said, "Boys, we're gonna starters. You ain't coming out."
How do you tighten a rim? I've never put a rim together. I guess
that's a good point. I don't know if you have.
I don't really.
I imagine
know
it goes into the backboard, right?
You screw it in there, but I don't know if if the rim itself is somehow.
There's like a little torque wrench or something on there that you can.
Wrong word, but yeah.
I'm sure you. Well, I will say we at our local park at Evans, there was double rims. Now, if you've ever shot on those,
that's
you want to talk about. You don't need to. You can't swish it. The ball can't touch anything.
Yeah,
not the net, not the rim.
Right.
Yeah, it's just straight drop down in. I guess the thing, because I know they've always kind of said like Maui when they played the Maui tournament out there early in the season in Hawaii, they have like soft rims. I don't know if like I'm trying to think of, I think we all at some point in time have like used a screwdriver to screw something into a wall. And if you do it really tight, like that thing isn't going to budge at all. Where if like you do it a little bit looser,
maybe I guess I've never seen one put together to know.
And so if the ball hits the rim and the screws aren't as tight in, it's more likely to kind of like softly roll in than like hard bounce out. But I would think that would be just I don't know. I guess.
I mean, look, I don't know.
I'm not a huge conspiracy believer, but
I am not Steph Curry. Breaking news on that one, but I will tell you.
Not yet.
I got time still. There's times I've put up great shots at Kings Island or the Ohio State Fair, and they haven't fallen.
There's definitely something to that.
Those,
right.
Like
those are like not real rims, right?
I don't know what it is,
I think
but
they're
like the amusement parks, there's something that
there's something there. Yes, so I mean that's obviously dictating things or making it a little bit different than what we're talking about here at Michigan State. Did you guys ever play on chain nets?
I don't think I've ever played on chain nets.
The park when I was younger probably had some chain nets.
They had chain nets at one park by my grandparents' house I used to go to, and just a totally different. First of all, that's why I didn't dunk back then. I had the chain in my eye. That's the reason. That's why I got
less smart.
Yes, I had to be careful on that one.
Go high flying around all that.
Right. Such a weird sound with the chain net, though, when it would go through and do that. But yeah, so I don't know. You're
interesting. That's I just don't know that Michigan State would want to do that to themselves. But maybe.
Would it be an advantage I guess if you knew and the other team didn't. I guess if you know something the other team doesn't know, but if you're playing at the same side both times, I don't think they switch.
Team's shooting well, I don't know that it's going to matter all that much, right?
Yeah, it might not.
I mean, maybe a couple, but if they're filling it up, it's going to go through.
NBA trade deadline is today, and it's looking more and more like the Golden State Warriors will not be acquiring Giannis after the trade they made last night. The Warriors, I'm not sure if I like this trade or not, but they traded Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Hawks for Porzingis, Celtics legend.
Yeah, I was a little juice less this morning when I woke up, and one of the first things I saw was Porzingis photoshopped into a Warriors jersey. I'm like, oh, man, they got him and Horford.
Yeah, right.
And I know Boston probably got maybe not only did they get like the best out of Porzingis, but maybe the last out of Porzingis, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But if he can get healthy and click it and things click. I mean, Golden State's not going to win the West, but he immediately becomes a good piece for him with Butler out.
He hasn't played for a little bit now. I think he only played 17 games this season. But and
fresh legs.
That's right. Yes,
fresh legs.
But whenever I was reading the article on ESPN, and whenever they say this phrase, it's never good. It says, because of a tricky illness and other bumps and bruises, that's why he's only played 17 games. The tricky illness is postural orthostatic. Oh gosh. Tachycardia syndrome.
Yep, that's
POTS. He's got
It's
POTS.
tricky. That's a tricky one.
If it's one that it's like
it's tricky to say, it's tricky to cure.
Yes, and I'm not comparing it to this, but like the first time it was like, Lou, we don't know what to call this disease, man. Never seen this one before. It's kind of tricky.
It's a head scratcher.
Right. We'll call Lou Gehrig's disease right now. That's what we're going to call it for right now. But we got to come up with something better than that. And that's why I wonder about this, because I've never heard of this. Granted, I don't read many medical journals, at least not lately. And but that's if he can play, yes.
Probably a fancy way of saying like he has a back bruise or something.
Right, exactly.
No, I think whatever it is, it's a real issue. I mean, he had this last year in the playoffs with Boston.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you watched him, it was like watching the Jordan in the flu game times 5.
Right,
like he looked terrible. Like he looked like he
did he play as
like
good as Jordan?
Not quite.
Not quite, no.
Actually, kind of went the opposite route. They basically couldn't keep him on the floor. Yeah. And it was the craziest thing because every day you were like looking at the injury report to see if he was going to play or not, especially in that series against the Knicks.
Yeah.
And it was just like he would get out there and you'd be like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, he looks like he's dying.
Right.
And the team would be like, we have no idea what's wrong with him. Like, we can't,
tricky.
like, not that they weren't trying and not that he wasn't, like, being a good soldier. They just couldn't figure it out. And then it came out over the summer that whatever 4 words Tito just put together that I'm not even sure is part of the English language. It's like, yeah, this is what it was. And you're like, okay, like, this was obviously very real. And I mean, we're talking last May that it was affecting him, and now it's February of the following year.
Right.
So it's like Golden State giving up what they gave up for him, whatever, man.
Kuminga healed. Heels played like garbage. And
it is a last like
ditch effort to try and make something happen.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame them, but the fact that he's still dealing with this illness now, nearly 12 months later is.
You know, a professional athlete, everything they have at their disposal, you would think that would get figured out and they would be able to put a plan together for him. But
and then the other big trade yesterday was Anthony Davis going to the Wizards, which I can't.
Did that guy get fired down there in Dallas?
Yes, he did get fired.
That didn't work out very well.
Not quite. No, they did get Cooper Flagg through the stroke of luck.
They got that.
And the ping pong balls, but yeah, Luka. They basically, I saw yesterday, it was like they basically traded Luka for like a couple first-round picks and whoever they got back in that Wizards deal, which is weird career for Anthony Davis.
It really is. And and I think that if I'm not mistaken now, by the way, he played 29 games for the Mavericks. That's all Davis played. 29 games.
Oh, he's another guy that's just
always
been banged up. With New Orleans, though, he was still like, you would still get 65, 70 games out of him. Right. He was really good.
Double-double.
And like he was a guy, too, that I would say, gosh, in the last 20 years, if you were to rank guys coming out of college that had the most, like, this guy's going to be a great NBA player, he was on a short list. Yeah. Like, it's him.
The team they had down there in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, John Wall. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Which Wall was before him.
Oh, well, yeah.
But
and then
still,
he came in right after that, right?
That 2012 Kentucky team that won the title was loaded. And Davis, like the first half of his career, he was really good. He was the second best player on a team that won the title.
Right.
But obviously health has been a huge thing for him. He just
I feel like with those big guys, I mean, like Odin kind of was like, I mean, I know they're different players, but in a way, you just, when you're that big,
your body,
those injuries can just
like the body is not meant to be 7 feet tall. Like as simple as it sounds,
and be running up and down a court and just pounding on all the joints and So I can understand it. It's sad when you see that happen, though.
So Washington's got Trae Young now and Anthony Davis both, and Washington allegedly has told both of them, "Hey, it's cool if you don't want to play this year. You can just sit out the rest of the season if you want to." Because they're trying to get a high lottery pick. But I think Young and Davis both might have player options coming up on their contract. So I don't know if they're going to end up being able to re-sign them or not, or if they're going to, what their plan is there. But Washington team that they're doing kind of creatively. with the way they're adding these veteran questionable guys. Trey Young's had some injury issues here too, I know, and but Anthony Davis, yeah, that's. And look, they also got, by the way, D'Angelo Russell the deal too. Oh, look out!
Let's go,
Buckeyes.
Yes. I think too. If you're Washington, I don't know that Trey Young and Anthony Davis has you super excited, but it's been so long since they've been good.
Well, yeah, at least there's something we're talking about them.
At least for them, it's probably like, whatever, man. We just want to not suck.
Yeah,
and
if like, at least we're trying. We're trying to bring in some vets who
we've been bad
we know
for
have
so
been
long.
good. Yeah,
we're gonna take a swing at it, and if we're the 7th best team in the East next year, that's a hell of a lot better than where we've been for several years. So,
and I think the last time I remember the Wizards doing something relevant, I think Pierce was there. And like that, a playoff series, and Pierce at like a big
called bank.
Yeah,
called game.
I think that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Now look, even through 20 games this year, I know he's only played 20 games this year, but Davis is averaging 20 points and 11 rebounds in those games.
He's still,
he's still your double-double guy.
Really good, but he really cannot stay on the court.
Feels like he needs to call Schleggs. A little help with the conditioning there. Schleggs won't let him take a rep off. Coming up next, we'll do quick hitters. Morning Juice.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Bobby is known as the General. Tito shops at Dollar General. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. It's Tito. It's Jehovah. It's Bodie Wells. You're going to hear a lot more Bodie now. If I can get my screen correct. I'm going to play some quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas. Happy Thursday. Second best day of the work week. We'll start here with some college football. 12 teams that improved their 2026 college football playoff chances with their offseason roster moves. This one coming from the worldwide leader, ESPN. They broke it down into 2 different categories. Teams who made the playoffs this past season and then teams who didn't. Pretty simple stuff. Teams who did, the ESPN saying is going to make another run at it next year. Georgia, Indiana, Miami, Ohio State, Oregon, and Texas Tech. Teams who missed that they're saying should make it. LSU, Notre Dame, Michigan, Texas, UNLV, and Southern California. Tito, if I told you, write down, I kind of made you guess those teams. I think you probably could have guessed all of them outside of UNLV, no?
Okay. Now, here, no offense to Craig Halbert for putting this out there, but anybody who puts a list out now about teams most likely to make the playoffs that missed it last year, everyone's going to have Notre Dame. There won't be a single person say Notre Dame's not one of those.
Oh, it's let me get back to my list here. I mean, Notre Dame and Texas just missed it.
Right.
LSU, Michigan, and USC, Michigan and USC were kind of in the second tier of missing it. And then obviously LSU brought in Lane Kiffin and, Ole Miss's roster. So.
And then there's a list out there, too, about teams that made the playoffs this year that will miss it next year. Ole Miss is always the top of the list.
Yes.
Ole Miss is the one. Yeah, right. That's the one that's top of the list every time. But, yeah, so, look, it's funny to me that, about the teams most likely. Yeah, LSU, they should. I still can't. I can't get a read on Michigan, but Notre Dame and Texas both should for sure. UNLV, yeah, that's one I would probably be surprised. But I also had USC on there as well, mainly because they have the they're hanging that banner for top recruiting class for 2026.
A lot of freshmen, a lot of good freshmen coming in.
Lots.
Yeah, so that's interesting. USC.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean USC or Michigan. Who do you think's got a better chance to make the playoff?
I think.
I would. I'd bet on Whittingham before.
I would take Michigan. I just trust.
I wouldn't feel great
even though
about
it's a new
either.
staff up there. I just trust that program more to actually put a defense on the field and get things done.
Because at this point, heading into next season, at a minimum, I would say one of those two teams is the third best team in the Big Ten, behind Ohio State and Oregon, right?
In Indiana?
Or I should say at best. Yeah. No, I'm saying,
at
the very least,
yes,
Ohio
right,
State,
yes.
Oregon is
yes.
1, 2, in some order in the Big Ten.
Right.
I'd probably still trust Indiana more at this point than either one of those two schools.
Right.
Even though they got to reset a lot, too. Signetti, I think at this point, they have to keep hitting on it, but I think it's fair to kind of bank on that right now. I mean, he's shown now
he's done
2
it 2 years in a row.
Why can't he keep doing it? So you may even be saying at best Michigan or Southern Cal would be looking at the fourth best team in the Big Ten. And if you're already saying that, that's a fringe playoff spot.
Yep.
Once you get to about the fourth or fifth best team in the Big Ten, SEC, and especially the ACC and Big 12, that's you could make the playoff, but it's certainly no guarantee. Let me ask you guys this: give me a reason Ohio State will make the playoffs next year. And give me a reason that they won't.
Okay.
I'll go with the reason they won't because they have a really tough schedule and there's a legit. I mean, you got 4 or 5 games on there that if we don't play really good, we could possibly lose. Now, I don't think that will happen, but I mean, our schedule is, I think, one of the hardest in the country.
Can they lose 3 and get in?
I think that'd be tough.
I mean, as long as the 3 of the ones we're talking about.
Well, for sure. I mean,
like Texas, Oregon,
I think
Michigan,
if you
Indiana,
lose to Texas,
Indiana,
maybe Indiana,
on the road, both road games.
Who else?
Well, you got Michigan here. You got Oregon here. You travel to
USC. You travel
to
USC.
Right? What's that?
At Iowa.
At Iowa and at USC.
At Iowa. Man, that's a doozy. I don't know if you can lose 3 though. Just being Ohio State,
right?
I think people would just jump on the 3 losses, not caring who they were to or what happened. Just they have 3. They're not in this year.
If they get 3 losses, will people riot?
Oh God, yeah,
they're going to want some people fired.
Well,
some people who work in this building might.
I know. Well, if they lose 1 game
or 0,
right, or lose 0, then lose 1 later. Yeah, still got to consider it. I 3 losses would be tough.
I would probably say no, gun to head. If I had to choose yes or no, no. I think the problem too is we can say it's a tough schedule, and it is. There's no question about that. But once you lose 3 games, it does start to get to a little bit of well, then who have you beaten? Because Texas lost 3 games, and granted, the loss that really killed them was losing to a 4-win Florida team.
Right.
And, they had some good wins, but they still, didn't have probably that great win that was worth overcoming the Florida loss.
Right.
Now, at this point in time, we've got a long way to go, obviously, but if Ohio State lost 3 games and one of them wasn't Oregon,
right,
that'd be a better win than Texas probably had at this point this year.
Sure.
But does that make sense? Like, once you lose 3 games, you kind of start to get to a point where it's like, well, then who did you beat? Like, did you still stack up enough wins to overcome those 3 losses? Who knows? It's
because if you have one loss to a bad team,
you're probably done.
You're probably done.
Yeah. Like, we can sit here and say, well, what if they lost by a field goal to Indiana, USC, and Iowa on the road? And that's, if that happened, maybe they would make it because they would still have a decent chunk.
And it all
of good
depends on
wins
what those
there,
other
but-
teams do the rest of the season too. If they're all highly ranked and we lose by a field goal to 3 teams.
When you look at
maybe, but I just think the hate for Ohio State is just going to be like, you guys lost 3, you're out.
We say it's a daunting schedule, and it looks that way. But last year, it looked like Penn State was going to be a really tough game. You know what I mean? Last year, if you had Clemson or Florida State or Penn State on your schedule, you looked at it and said, man, that's going to be a tough game for us. And it turned out to not be so tough. Not that I don't know which of these teams. I mean, USC could always be crap. Iowa could be. You got to believe Oregon and Indiana will both be solid in Texas. So,
And nobody's talking about Penn State this year. And
no,
who knows?
What's going to happen?
I mean, new coach, a lot of new enthusiasm out there.
Yep.
And they're under the radar.
The schedule feels so deep that even if a couple of those teams did fall off, though, it'd still feel strong. Biggest reason they'd make it, Tito?
I think it would be just because of the
Ryan Day.
Ryan Day, Patricia.
Jeremiah Smith.
Well, I say the offense, but also Matt Patricia coming back and running that defense we did last year. As long as if Ryan Day is back in the mix and with those that offensive firepower, adding Chris Henry Jr. to it, like that dude's gonna be a cheat code.
Yeah, I really think our offensive line is going to be a strength next year, and that's something that we probably wouldn't have said this year, even though they were pretty darn good. It was just like a couple spots we needed to fix up, and I think being able to bring everybody back that we wanted to bring back, and the experience, some of the young guys who got in a little bit last year, expecting them to take on that starting role, I think they're going to be real strong. So I think the offense is going to keep us in it. I think it might take a little bit of time for the defense. I mean, if he can do what he did again,
right?
I mean, you lost 8, and then you come out and you're just like amazing from the jump. If he could do that again, build a statue for him. I imagine there's going to be some growing pains.
I used cheat code the other day when I was talking on the air, and Bob said that, what are you, a kid or something like that? Made fun of the reference. I just used it a second time. Am I too old to use cheat code? Or is it still something?
I don't think that's
so. Yeah. I would say it actually. Well, I don't know.
I mean, I didn't say it was drip and Riz. I just said,
now that
I wouldn't do.
Yeah,
but,
I wouldn't go that far.
No, but I think cheat code's still okay.
Cheat code, I think is.
There's your poll question, buddy. I can't keep doing your job for you.
Cheat code or
how old?
No?
Yeah, no. Just
what's the age?
What's the age?
Cheat code's fine. I don't think there is an age on cheat code.
Good.
I think everybody kind of
go to
picking up what you're putting down there.
Go to Karaka. Bobby.
Yes, exactly.
Some NFL here, guys. Joining the Yahoo Sports Daily. That's a show. Apparently, I was unaware of that until yesterday. But nevertheless, joining the Yahoo Sports Daily on Wednesday out in San Francisco, NFL insider Jay Glazer made some comments about some star players who could be on the move this offseason. He believes that Max Crosby will be done in Las Vegas. He noted Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy have had some discussions already about potentially reuniting there in Pittsburgh. Obviously, McCarthy's definitely going to be there. And we'll see if Rodgers comes back for another season. Last but not least, though, I thought this one was, I don't know, either interesting or maybe just clickbaity. But when asked about another storyline he's keeping an eye on, he mentioned Joe Burrow. Glazer said, I want to see what happens with Joe Burrow. When the host of the show, Jason Fitz, followed up and said, you think it's real that Burrow could end up elsewhere? Glazer responded, I want to keep my eye on it. I think people are going to go after him. Doesn't mean the Bengals are going to be willing to do it, but I do think people are going to try. Jay-Z, I can't imagine Cincinnati at this point unless Burrow went to them and said, I'm done. And I don't know
unless
if
he
Burrow would
demanded
do
a
that.
trade or something.
Yeah. At this point in time, I think that's kind of a little...
He's been,
little clickbaity comment.
5 years in there? 6?
5 or 2020 draft.
But
so
they've
6 years.
I mean, they have invested in him and the offense. I don't think anybody's going to be able to come to them at this point in time. I mean, he's in the middle of his career. Should be a lot of good years ahead. They have their guy as long as he can stay healthy, which I know he's had some issues here in the last few seasons. But he's one of those guys you just got to hold on to if you have him. So now, with that being said, it is the Bengals.
Right.
So they may think they're smarter than everybody and say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and make something happen here. Or if he demands it, I guess you kind of have to. But I don't think he would. I shouldn't say that.
I would be an annoying GM because I would call about Joe. Sure, I'll call about Joe Burrow. Hey, what do you guys think? Any ideas? They say, what are you, stupid, and hang up on me? It's fine. I'll call the next team. Hey, are you really in love with Justin Herbert?
Mahomes,
You know what I mean?
he's got that knee injury.
Mahomes
he
seems
just
a
had
little
that knee injury.
Don't you want to rebuild? Something like that. I would be calling everybody all the time. So, I got to believe there's calls all the time on almost every quarterback that's really good, that's established themselves. But, it doesn't mean they're going to do it, but I would think that it would make sense for them to call because Burrow, look, the injury thing is real. And who knows? Look, Burrow might really love playing in Cincinnati, but
he likes to win more, and he was a little frustrated, I feel like, last year. And
he made some comments about not having fun and trying to get back to that. And it's like, is that him talking about the injury and just wanting to play, which I totally respect, or is that about Cincinnati
being in Cincinnati and being in this program?
Years?
Yeah, that's the issue with it. Is that if you take a big chunk of the salary cap, you can't spend as much on other positions. Now, he took a big chunk of the salary cap. Jamar Chase, Higgins also. And so their defense is already a disadvantage. And you're not going to win without a good defense, or at least an average defense, which they don't have. And the Hendrickson thing now that's coming to an end as well. Right? Yeah, he'll be gone. Yeah. And so it's a thing where I know Mahomes, they said, took like a QB or a team-friendly deal. Brady did that for years. Brady would always take less than he could have gotten to build up around it. And I don't know if Burrow's going to get to that point or not, but it just feels to me like, and I wouldn't trust the Cincinnati organization to make smart decisions for the team going. I know they've been to 2 Super Bowls. I get 3 Super Bowls. Sorry, I forgot 3 Super Bowls. 2 with Anderson, Esiason, and then Burrow. But so they've been to 3 Super Bowls, which is a lot more than most of the teams out there in the NFL. But I still just don't trust the Brown family to consistently put up a perennial contender.
Yeah, they did the fan favorite type deal and got the offense everybody paid, right? And it's just you don't have money for the other side of the ball, or you don't have money for the offensive line, which is the most important, because if Joe can't throw the ball, those guys can't catch it. You know? And that's I always, with quarterbacks and when they're those big deals, it's like, man, just take $20 million less.
Yeah, right.
And is that 160 to 140 or whatever it comes out to? Is that going to change your life? No, but it might change your career because you're going to have some more money to spend on some different players.
Now, to their credit, they were smart enough to get a Pro Bowl quarterback to back him up. 41-year-old Joe Flacco.
Yes, they were.
So that right there. Maybe they're smarter than I think. Maybe they're smarter than I think. Maybe we should get more credit for that. Coming up next, you know what, folks? It's the mystery segment. It might be Albert Breer. It might be witty banter. Stick around and find out. How about that? Morning Juice.
Hey, everybody. It's Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. There are a lot of reasons that we should be working to get healthier and happier in our lives. But one of the unexpected benefits of losing weight, my wife no longer elbows me in the ribs at 2 a.m. I didn't realize how bad the snoring had gotten until it's gotten better. And that's the kind of change I'd hoped to achieve when I lost 35 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss. 35 pounds down in just 6 weeks and officially under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years. That number still feels fake when I say it out loud, but it's real. And what's just as real is how good everything else feels. There are no joint flare-ups. I'm moving around a lot better and never feels like a chore. I'm aware of when things feel wrong, and I'm also aware when things feel right. Thanks to my Awaken 180 coach, Mandy, I've learned how to eat, how to adjust, and now I'm heading into maintenance with a plan. That's what Awaken 180 really does. It teaches you how to keep going once the weight is gone. Free support for life with the solution for weight loss. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Apologize, Bodie. I meant to say please at the end of that request.
That was
up against
that
it.
sounded like a demand.
No, I know it did. No, listen, I know it did.
I didn't want to say anything.
No,
but
it's okay. I recognize that. But when I say, hey, Bodie, do this, I meant kind of please. If it was 30 seconds earlier, I wouldn't have.
It would have sounded nicer?
It would have sounded nicer, yes.
Okay.
You did have a slight, ever so slight kind of what I would call maybe an older man moment. Because
Yes.
you kind of had your headphones on and you were sort of yelling.
Yeah,
You did kind of yell, yeah. I was like, whoa, calm down.
Just because
It's
your
only
headphones are
7
loud.
o'clock.
That's fine. Believe it or not, there is tension and turmoil without Carp in the studio. That rarely happens. If you had that in your bingo card, by golly, put a chip there. Bodie, play it, please. Olympic update. Germany and Sweden, women's ice hockey tied 1-1 at the end of the first period.
Hey, let's go.
Opening ceremonies Friday. Opening events
today.
Already going. I think there was curling yesterday also. There was some curling, yeah. I don't know who won. I don't know all the. But by the way, we had this conversation, and I learned something new. I often learn something during the Olympics that's not related to sports in any way. The United States women's hockey team plays Czechia today at 10:40 a.m. Now, I thought that was like, used to be Czechoslovakia. Maybe they just
would make sense.
Shorten the name, or maybe some kind of regime change or something. And I go, AI tells me the Czech Republic is a landlocked Central European nation known for its rich history, fairy tale castles, and beer culture. God, bear culture. Hey, listen, if you go there for the bear
you hear
culture,
that, Ed?
yes.
The bears are coming to town.
But that used to be. I think now it's Czechia is what it is. So Czech Republic's now they just shorten it to Czechia. Like the two in usted form in Spanish. Like it's just a more informal one, I guess. But they broke from Czechoslovakia. So Czechia was part of Czechoslovakia. Look, all I'm saying is this is what the Olympics does for me. Is I get to look up geography and names.
Where is that place?
Yeah, where's Czechia? Yeah. And where's this bear culture? That sounds awesome. Beat bears. All right, we do not see Mr. Breer on there, so we will pivot. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. One was, so tonight, we're supposed to find out for sure who gets into the Hall of Fame, for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tonight's like the NFL. I don't know what you call it.
Who's not in?
Well,
Is that when they put the videos out where they go around and give the guys their jackets type thing?
I think we know who's not in. It's been reported that Belichick's not in, reported that Kraft's not in. Official results haven't come out yet. But I'm curious about. Bodie, I did it again. I'm wondering about.
I had a professor in college who forbidded the word interesting, which was interesting.
I was going to say it's interesting, yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, most of the time when I went to use the word,
yeah,
we would just pivot to intriguing.
Oh.
Which kind of is the same thing as far as I know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
But, yeah. There you go.
So I don't know how many people know and if there's a lot of people that know how they keep the secret, but it turns out Frank Gore may have revealed one of the people being inducted. This is what Frank Gore said about Roger Craig. I thought he's a hell of a running back. I'm happy that he's getting in. He'll be a Hall of Famer.
Well, seems pretty straightforward.
That does.
Sounds like he said.
Yes. What they were talking, who was During an interview with 49ers owner and CEO Jed York said, Roger been waiting for so long. I can't think of anybody who changed the game more than Roger. So I don't know how many people already know. And if more like, and not that Frank Gore's a nobody, but I'm surprised Frank Gore would be one to know.
Yeah, to like get it leaked to him.
And leaked to him and then out to us. So anyway, it adds the
he's not a
intrigue
Hall.
to this.
Frank's not a Hall of Famer. Not yet. But
is he on
maybe
the
I
list?
was thinking like maybe they let the Hall of Famers know, like, hey, these are who's coming in.
Yeah,
Type thing.
is Gore on the list this year? Is he one of the finalists? I think he might be this year. I think he might be one of the finalists this year to get in. Which maybe that's why he knows, because they said, hey, Frank, you're in. By the way, just so you know, these other guys. Is Gore on the list this year? Do you know, Bodie?
Trying to get it here.
Or maybe he didn't get in this year, and they're saying, hey, this is kind of why.
Yeah. I'm not sure, though. So, but it just, that if they've been doing it that way for years.
I don't see his name on here.
It's been an incredible, way to keep a secret. You know what I mean? Like, if they've been able to keep the secret this long, because, I don't remember any years before this finding out some of the stuff, about Belichick and Kraft, before they reveal it all.
Yeah, well, I think they probably realize on that one, we want to get out in front of this before, because if they came out just today and it was like, oh, Belichick didn't make it 2 days, 3 days before the Super Bowl, that would take over. So they wanted to get that out of the way early.
Frank Gore is eligible for the 2026 class. So, it looks like they said he's a finalist. First year eligible nominee and a finalist for Pro Football Hall of Fame class 2026. Third all-time leading rusher. Something else that came out yesterday. Mark Pantoni was on the program with Woj, his podcast, with Adrian Wojnarowski. And he gave credit and actually discussed kind of how Indiana's doing it right. And probably the way they have to do it going forward as far as the way they put their teams together, team construction. But the way that Indiana is, I'll give you his quote. I think the Indiana model in football has shown us that having older players, having an older team does mean something. And so philosophically, we're trying to determine, okay, how much financials are we going to put into the high school world now? How big is the high school class going to look now? Is it better in the long run or in the one-season model to go into the portal and take older, more proven guys rather than try to pay a lot of money to get kids here out of high school, and then they're probably not playing a lot in year one or year two, and then you have a lot of dead money? And if you look at Ohio State's, the way they're constructing this year's team, and in some ways last year's team too, to that matter, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the last couple of years they've kind of just filled spots because they were able to keep those younger guys, but now they're kind of realizing, if we're spending $1 million on a kid out of high school, he's only going to want more when he's expected to play, or when that time comes, and you can't have it. And it's just, high school recruiting is going to go out the window almost. I don't know where this goes with everything. But, yes, being older because more mature. I remember taking my first snap at Ohio State.
Right.
Under the line who was all juniors and seniors.
Right.
And I'm like, these are grown men. It was different. So there is something to being older in college. And, Indiana's had a ton of success kind of doing it. So I think everybody's seeing that and wanting to jump on that train. And on the flip side, it's just you're not having to deal with these young guys who, on the Buckeye show last night, Beam read a thing where it was from the GM,
right?
Anonymous GM saying this is something that we've had asked of us. And the kid wanted airplane stipend. He wanted a walk-on, preferred walk-on spot for just a buddy of his.
Okay.
He wanted, housing stipend, car stipend. There was probably 8 or 9 different demands that this one GM was saying, this is one thing that we got from it. And I'm just like, this is a high school kid.
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
How about I let you have the vending machine key? Yeah. Let's just do that.
How about we're just going to feed you whatever you want. You're going to, you're not going to, it is incredible. But yeah, the shift in the thinking process. And I think Ohio State has, the whole NIL deal, they've done it the right way. They didn't want guys who were money first. They want to, bring guys in who they think fit the culture. And
right.
And I think they're just realizing that's great. And we can get them here for a year, but then they're just probably going to be gone, or they're going to the highest bidder, or we got to pay a bunch of money to keep them. And that's just not the way to do it when they're that young.
I think it'd be fascinating to see some of the way these what the rules are specifically on the contracts, and can you make them incentive based?
So wasn't Dion out in Colorado saying that you're going to be fined if you miss
he's fined
a class
if you
or something like that?
Late to practice, missing a class, whatever. Yeah, there's fines.
Yeah, so, there's
that.
fines. So, maybe on the other side, there's incentives. Hey, you come here, we're going to give you this base.
Right.
If you play this much or you have this many receptions or whatever it is, yes, you're going to get a bump. Yeah. That would be kind of smart, I guess. But you're going to have other schools saying, "Hey, we're just going to give you the $1 million right now."
Or you have, or otherwise, also along the same line, is that if you do say, "Okay, I'll take that incentive-based deal," and then you feel like the coaches are deliberately not playing you, which I wouldn't think would be the case at a place like Ohio State or something like that. I'm not accusing them of anything like that, but I wonder though if that would come into play at all. But I like the way Ohio State does it, but. And if I say I wish they do it uniformly across college football, then that becomes collusion, and then it's a legal thing where you can't say, "Hey, everybody, we're not going to pay the players this much." I come out of high school, but it's the way Ohio State does seems right. It's just, I don't know when this take, and maybe it already has come old because we've said it now for 2 years because of what Indiana's done. But, we're living in a world where Ohio State's saying, hey, Indiana, we kind of like what you're doing. We have to mimic that in football.
Yeah, what is that?
I wonder at what point.
Bizarro world.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the bizarro world take. That's a great way to put it. The bizarro world take when it comes to Indiana football, Ohio State football, and Indiana football against other teams in the country. I don't know if it's reached the finish line now where we can't do it. Because now me saying that is almost like a lazy take because yes, we're surprised that Indiana's the national championship game. We're surprised we're surprised Indiana and Ohio State's a big game. All those things, And so I wonder if we need to retire that. And if we retire it, Bodie, do we have to have a ceremony retiring the bizarro world take that Indiana football has caused?
I think so.
Okay, so we need to have a ceremony probably for on that
sure,
one. Well,
why not?
I think we have to see how they do this year. If they do it 3 in a row,
see, I said
then I buy in.
Now, see, but listen, I said that last year too. I said after last year, I said, show it's going to be a lot different in 2025. Trust me, Indiana's not
different.
It was different, all right. Yes,
they're pretty darn good.
Yes, it was different. The Lindsey Vonn story, and it would be amazing if she can compete in this thing. She says she's going to.
How?
Put your gear.
Now
on,
I've never ripped my, knock on wood, never ripped my ACL. I never had that kind of issue, but I don't know how you look at that mountain and say, yeah, I got a knee brace on. I'm okay here.
And she's already got like a titanium knee in the other side.
Yeah, because she had a really bad accident.
Yes.
Yeah, long. I was surprised to actually hear that she was still going for the Olympics.
Right.
I felt like that was a young pup's game.
They were supposed to have practice yesterday out there, training sessions. They're supposed to have 3 training sessions on Thursday. The first one, sorry. First supposed to be Thursday. They had 7 inches of snow, so they canceled it. And now they're talking about having 2 on Friday, 1 on Friday, 1 on Saturday before Sunday's downhill race. And the only place the only thing sucks, I don't know if it sucks about this. Maybe it does. Depends on, I guess, that it's on Super Bowl Sunday when she would be racing. But they'll still draw a good race. It won't be, I don't think it'd be going on at the same time as the Super Bowl, but, but if she had more time to rehab and get ready, of course, I don't know how much that would have mattered.
Well, I don't, and I think, the article was like, I think they were happy that this training got pushed, right? Just to give her an extra day or whatever it could be to try and, give that knee a little bit more rest. But, when it comes down to it, you're a week out to the Olympics. This happened to her,
right?
What a crappy deal. But for her to just want to try and fight through that, more power to her. I just don't know how that feels.
Yeah, that's going to be it'll be a great storyline to watch if it can actually happen. But yeah, I can't imagine.
I had a little MCL issue, and like walking down the steps would just it would catch and it would get me. I couldn't imagine going 60 miles an hour down a steep hill,
right,
and then having that catch and ooh.
It is such a different type of athlete that can do those things like that. I mean, because that is insane to me.
It's incredible.
Maybe you should have skied down the steps instead of taking the steps. Maybe that would be better for you. The NCAA did something that was surprising to me. They actually denied somebody another year of eligibility. Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss. They did not give him his 6th year. And I don't know if it'll be over or not. Who knows? This thing, they'll always be, because I
saw something about he can now take it to the state court or whatever. Yeah. So, because when I saw that headline, I was like, oh man, that's pretty big news for Ole Miss in college football. And then it was like, actually though,
right? Wasn't it like a sore throat that he was trying to get another year for?
What was it?
Like a sore throat.
Oh, was it
Or
really?
something like
I hadn't
tonsillitis
seen
or something like
Hey,
that,
Good
maybe.
for him, man. Whatever. Why not? Grandma died.
In his eyes, he's like, man, they're throwing out these extra years to everybody.
Yeah.
Might as well try and go get one.
Sure.
Speaking of headlines, this headline was incredibly deceiving when I saw it. I'll read you the headline. You tell me what you think it means. Badgers Luke Fickell asked to forego extension amid struggles.
I saw that yesterday. Yeah. I was kind of... I definitely needed to read the article because I was like, what exactly does that
firing
mean?
him?
No,
Or
like,
is he
that's what
resigning?
I thought too. I thought Wisconsin said, hey, we want you to forego this extension because all those struggles. And no, it turns out it was Fickell who asked to do it. I guess that they have a thing where they always extend the university awards extensions to keep coaches' contracts their original lengths. So like every year they extend it by a year. Every year they extend it by a year to keep it going that way. And Fickell went to them and said that he doesn't want the extension to automatic kick in. Like that was kind of his way. He said, this is what the AD said, Chris McIntosh. I respect his request and determine that the current terms of Luke's contract will be maintained. Luke is completely focused on a successful 2026 campaign. There is no one more competitive than Luke, and he holds himself to the highest standards. He is committed to meeting and exceeding the expectations of everyone connected to Wisconsin, his own, the teams, universities, alumni, supporters, fans, and the entire state. So Fickell, 17-21, after having a couple of losing seasons in a row here with Wisconsin, which has not happened since 91 and 92. But yeah, I saw that. At first I thought that, but I guess
a little misleading.
Yes, Fickell, is betting on himself. Like, I'm going to show you that it was the right move
that's
to
the
make.
kind. He is that kind of guy.
That's Fick.
He is intense, and I thought he would go up there, and now he's had just a run of real bad luck with injuries and everything else.
Thing,
but when he went there, I was like, that's good for Wisconsin. It's going to be good for the Big Ten, and I'm hoping this year he's able to kind of turn that around a little bit because he's an awesome guy and a great coach.
I hope he turns it around to where they're still below Ohio State. I don't want to see Fickell.
I would like it to be a big game between the two of us. And,
I will tell you that Bodie wants them to start off 0-1 this year.
I hope so, yeah.
That is first game of the season, right?
It is Sunday
night. You guys always have
you
start off tough. Your last couple seasons, first couple games have gotten you guys.
God, in Lambeau.
They have, JC.
Yeah, I know.
They have, I'm aware.
Yeah.
In Lambeau.
Come on.
All right, coming up next, we will talk to Ya Highness. He will join us here. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, When you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right. It's Tito. Jehovah. Bodie Wells with you. Folks, we hear this is a lot of people's top segment of the week. It's Super Bowl week. It's always a Super Bowl with this guy, though. Ya Highness joins us. Ya Highness, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Columbus, Ohio. How are we on this fantastic Thursday morning? We got Jay-Z in the house, Brody, baby, bringing it on the ones and twos, and my main man, Tito. Was there supposed to be somebody else on this show? Does Bobby Carper do this show anymore?
Tell me about it, bud, right?
Anyways,
yeah.
We're back and better than ever. Tito, condolences. I texted you yesterday.
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
said something
that.
on there. I just want to say condolences on there. We talked about it. Guys, I got nothing to talk about but the Super Bowl, but if you want to talk about something else, can we get that out of the way first?
This is what I want to do first, because I was telling Jay-Z about your $100 to $1 million, and he wanted some more info on it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. Look, I know you got up to $1,500 recently on a $1,500 bet you had to make. I think you missed that one by one goal, if not mistaken.
That is correct.
Okay. Explain it to Jay-Z and our listeners what you're doing.
Well, I'm going to become a millionaire this year, Jay-Z. I'm trying to do it before March Madness, but while you scoff and laugh, just hang in there. Stick with me. You'll be all right. We're starting with the $100 bill, but again, I said this yesterday on yesterday's video. If you can't swing a $100 bill each time, make it an amount you can, 10, 20, 50 bucks, whatever it is. But every time we win, we do a partial press. So, for instance, we won. You should have won about 85 or 90 bucks yesterday. We're going to go ahead and bet 150 today. I feel like my internet's kind of active.
We're catching you all the way, yeah. So you're going to pull back like 30, 35 bucks from that. Yes.
Yeah, so 150 today. I don't know. I haven't got that far today, but we'll bet 150 probably sometime today. We'll probably win, 120 bucks. We'll bet 250. And so it's a progressive pull. So when we got up to betting 1,500, I think we had pocketed maybe $400. And so that was all house money we were betting with. Each step we get with, we're basically just playing with house money. I'm sorry, on my end, my internet is terrible right now.
You sound really perfect here. You sound really good here.
All right, well, I'm flying in the dark like a pilot in fog, baby. I didn't know we were getting high this morning, high in the clouds.
Let's go.
Anyways, I can't see you. I can hear you, but we're just going to wing it, baby. All right, I got nothing else to talk about. I told you guys I got 11 Super Bowl props I've researched. There is an edge. There's a little bit of plus EV here. You let me know if you want the whole list or how you want to do this.
Let's do it, man. Roll through. But right now, Jay-Z's opening up.
I'm getting into it. Let's go,
He's
baby.
opening up his betting site, the one he uses. I don't know which ones we promote here on the fan, so I'm just going to let him. He's going to open up and listen to you.
So this is what I've done. I took the time. I actually took a couple hours last night to do this. I went through every sports book that's available in the state of Ohio. So these bets are available for everybody in the state of Ohio, to whatever sports book. I've picked a few off each sports book. I'm going to list which sports book you can find it, what the odds are, and what the implied versus actual practical payouts are. Again, these are for entertainment. Don't put a ton of money on these, but these are fun. Let's just get to it, okay? All right, so the first one you can find on DraftKings, it is if a team starts to play inside the 20, the red zone, and they throw an interception. So we're looking for any team or any quarterback to throw an interception in the red zone. It's plus 330 on DraftKings. The implied odds are roughly about 23%. Historically in the Super Bowl, this hits about 18 to 22%. So this is the only real play that's not plus EV, but I like it because I think Drake May actually throws a red zone interception. All right, number 2, you can also find this on DraftKings. I've tried to do this sportsbook by sportsbook. So this is also on DraftKings. Over 2.5 players to attempt a pass. Well, we know both starting quarterbacks are going to attempt a pass. So that could be a backup quarterback comes in for a play. That could be a trick play where a tight end or a wide receiver or something like that throws a pass. Doesn't have to complete it, just has to attempt it. Plus 160, implied odds are roughly 38%. This has a 45% hit rate in the Super Bowl over the last 20 years. We call that plus EV. I like that play a lot. All right, and this is a fun one. This is one of my fun ones, again, on DraftKings. We call it the doink, or they call it the doink. Any field goal or extra point attempt to hit the upright, plus 600, roughly about a 14% implied odds. Now, history is about 1 in every 7 Super Bowls this hits. So we're right there at about the 7.5 odds, plus 600. I love it. All right, so that's all your DraftKings. We're going to switch over to FanDuel. On FanDuel, they have a prop for the shortest touchdown scored over 1.5 yards, meaning I need the shortest touchdown scored to be 2 yards or longer. I can't have a 1-yard rush. Comprehend? Plus 110, implied odds are 48%. Historically, 60% of the Super Bowls in the last 20 years have had a touchdown. The shortest touchdown was 2 yards or longer. So we just don't get a goal line touchdown. That's it. All right, here's a fun one. The first touchdown scorer of the game, again, this is going to be on FanDuel. The number of the jersey of that player is going to be under 11.5. Now, if I did this correctly, hear me see if I had it written down here. So that's Drake May, Stephon Diggs, and my booty man there from New England. So May, Diggs, Booty, that's on New England. And then you have Walker. And Smith and Jigba is 11, I do believe.
What about Texas Ranger?
If I'm wrong.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Walker, Texas Ranger. Good one there by you, Bodie. Yes, JSN. That's correct on that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, JSN's 11, so he sneaks in because, again, the number's 11.5. Now, be careful. If you're not on FanDuel, a lot of places have this at 10.5. I think it's important to have JSN. That's easy. Let's just go with that. I think it's better to have him at part of that. You got to pay a little bit more juice, but I think I'm liking that. So, all right. So the first touchdown scorer has a jersey number of 11 or less. All right, so this is also on FanDuel. Last one on FanDuel. Both teams convert a fourth down. So not only do they got to attempt a fourth down conversion, but they actually got to be successful. Plus 255, implied odds of roughly about 28%. Historically, this happens in the Super Bowl last 20 years, 34 to 35%. So another, I think, value play in there. All right, let's head over to Fanatics Sportsbook. The first opening drive of the game, regardless, it doesn't matter who gets the ball first, but whoever has the ball first, the result of the first drive of the game is a punt. It's plus 115. Implied odds are roughly about 47%. This actually happens about 55% of the time in the Super Bowls in the last 20 years, that the first drive, I think play calling is a little conservative. I think quarterbacks maybe a little jittery, a little nervous. I think a punt on the first drive. That's actually probably my favorite one as far as likelihood of hitting. All right, also on Fanatics, plus 200 odds, which is roughly about a 3-1. This hits at 70%. This is like a gold mine for you folks. The opening kickoff, the very first kickoff of the game, results in a touchback or a fair catch. A touchback or a fair catch. It's plus 200 on Fanatics. There's one that I love. They're giving the odds at 3-1. It hits at roughly 2 to 3, right? 70%, roughly. I'm rounding up here. So I love that one. Now I got 3 more. These are all going to be on Caesars Sportsbook. I believe that's also available in Ohio. I wasn't 100% sure on that. 2-point conversion attempted. Doesn't have to be successful. They just have to attempt a 2-point conversion. It's plus 160 at Caesars Sportsbook. It's roughly a 38% implied odds. This is, since 2015, half the games. Uh-huh. Half the games, so let's say the last 10 years, have at least attempted a 2-point conversion. and they're getting plus 160. All right, both teams to make a 35-yard field goal or longer. It's even money, and this hits at about 58 to 60% of the time last 20 years where both teams record a 35-yard field goal or longer. And then my last one. This is actually boosted over on Caesars, so you can get this at plus 450. Implied rate is roughly hits about 1 in 5, a little less than 1 in 5 times, obviously. But the first reception by a New England Patriot is going to be the running back Stevenson. Get this at plus 450. My thought process, and I didn't have a ton of data to back this, but my thought process is in a big game with a guy in his second year, a lot of pressure, a lot of nerves. What's a good way to get, and Jay-Z can comment on this being a quarterback, what's a good way just to get a little confidence, a little check down to the running back, a little screen pass to the running back? So that's what I'm banking on. I think Drake May, again, is his first reception, so incomplete. So if he throws it to Diggs, we need him to drop the ball. But we want a little check down, a little completion to Stevenson there, the back for New England. But that's 11 of them. What I would recommend is figuring a dollar amount that you're comfortable with and just doing flat amounts across all. So, for instance, I did $30, so ends up being $330 across the board. But pick whatever number works for you. It's fun. It's entertaining. Don't bet any crazy amounts on it. But these actually versus like the coin flip or Gatorade bets that a lot of people have, there's actually some value in these. Again, I spent almost 2 hours last night going through all this stuff. So I hope you all appreciate it.
Yes. You the man on that one. I appreciate that, Your Highness. I wanted to get back to your $100 to $1 million because, Jay-Z, the way it's based, the number is what, 16 or 12? What's the number of bets do you have to hit?
16. Got to win 16 bets technically in a row, but unlike a parlay where, most of the bets are the same day, I mean, I can spread this out forever. So I sit and wait. So not every day do I bet. I'm looking for a spot. And it's not, somebody asked me, in the beginning, are you a little more aggressive because obviously the money's not, obviously is large in the beginning. And my answer is no, because ultimately you got to win 16 in a row. So I want to pick a winner every single time. It's not even so much the money about getting the question right so we can get on to the next question. So, we had St. Thomas Tommies last night, a little CBS sports game there last night. They won, no problem. But I don't know what I'm doing today. I might have a bet today, I might not, but I'm not just going to willy-nilly throw 150 out. And it's not so much that I can't afford 150. It's the fact that I need to get on to the next question. So the 1,500, I really wish we would have won that one. That brings up another point, Tito. I had somebody in our community mention. There gets to a point where you're going to get uncomfortable, right? There's going to get to a dollar point where somebody at home is betting the most amount of money they've ever bet. Two things I'll tell you. Stick with me. I promise when we get to that point, it will be all house money. So it's none of your actual own real money. But again, I still understand when we get to, let's say, 25 grand or something like that, that's a car for some people, right? I mean, you can buy a nice used car for 25 grand. So here's what I'll tell you. When you get to a point,
right.
Or a new one, yeah, even a decent new one, yeah. But I mean, you could get I'm talking like a luxury used car for 25 grand. Anyways, when you get to the point where it's uncomfortable, I'm not going to be like one of these guys that tell you to get uncomfortable, being uncomfortable. No. Look, especially if you got kids, you got a family, you got bills. When you get to the point where it's too hard for you to lose, that's when you know that's your stopping point. Even if you don't make it to $1 million, whatever it is. I had a guy there today said, hey, once we get over $2,000, I'm done. Like 1,500 is the most I can stomach. And that's fine. That's okay. I'm going to keep doing my thing, brother. But I want you at home to not do anything crazy because you got too much money on the line, right? To me, money means nothing. I'm going to have the same emotional effect whether it's the $500 bet or the that's a lie. I'll probably have more. Yeah. But for the difference between me betting the 500 or the 1,500, as far as my involvement or my emotions involved, is nothing. It means nothing. I lost the respect for money when I was 19 years old playing poker down in the dog tracks in Florida. Okay, so I lost all respect for money back then.
I will tell you, if I get up to 25 grand, I'll be a hell of a lot lippier around the house with the wife. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden, there's some things I'm letting slide right now. If I got 25 grand in my betting account, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a new sheriff in town at that point there.
So let me do this. I have it right here, or at least I thought I did. Here we go. Here's the steps, and I'm gonna stay pretty true to this. Jay-Z had a question. All right, so we start at 100. We go to 150, 250, 500, 750, 1500. That's where we got last week and lost. 2,500, 4,500, 8 grand, 15, 27, 50,000, 85,000, 150,000, 275, and $500,000. Now, if I do this right, I'm going to be in Vegas for a week for the opening round of March Madness. I've envisioned, and I know some people think I'm weird with this, but I like to do a lot of spiritual meditation, visualization, things like that. But I've envisioned myself placing a $500,000 bet at the Circuit Casino downtown, the greatest sports book in all of Vegas, with Derek Stevens. He's the owner there. But anyways, so hopefully that's what we have in line. I only need about 2 or 3 weeks run up to get there, so we have plenty of time. I am determined to do this. When I do, I want to come on every Columbus show and tell the world that you guys also could have been a millionaire just following Your Highness. Let's go, baby.
You mentioned the community. Explain how people get involved in that community with you.
All right. So I thought this morning getting ready, what I was going to do. So normally I come on here and I tell you about the Super Bowl squares, or we had Thanksgiving square. And normally I tell you we're going to sell out. Don't wait. I need a little help from the people in Columbus. We're about just over 60 sold. That means we got 30 some left. We're a little behind pace. I think we're up against a lot of other competition as far as other Super Bowl squares. It seems like everybody does Super Bowl squares. So this is what I'm going to do for you, the people. For every square you buy, I'm going to give you a free month of access. You buy 2 squares, I'll give you 2 months. You buy 3 squares, I'll give you 3 months. 4 squares, 4 months. You get the gist. It's $60 to buy in. 10 of that dollars is going to the Jacksonville Youth Sports Boosters, where they directly go to underprivileged families and pay for their kids to play sports. It's one of the best charities that I've supported so far. $60 buy-in, $600 for the actual winning square, but you also win if you have the touching square, meaning the north, south, east, or west, or the reverse or inverse of the score. So, for instance, let's say 7-3 is the winning square. 3-7 would also be the winning square. But wait, there's more, of course. So for $15 additional, you can jump in the side game, which is what we call Battleship. When a square is hit, that row and column is eliminated. At the end of the Super Bowl, all the row and columns that have not been hit, like Battleship, would still be alive. And we'll split $600 amongst those that have opted in. So again, I usually say, hey, hurry up, go over there and get your squares. We're going to sell out. I'm not as confident. I need some help from those in the 614. If you could head over to WeWinYouWin.com and buy a square, help support the kids in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm also going to throw this out there. I am in need of a charity, and I know we're ahead of it, for college football. Our Survivor Pool is one of our more popular tournaments. It brings a lot of money in for the charities. I would love to pair up with a Columbus area charity to support for, and again, I know we're talking fall time, but I work ahead, folks. So if you or somebody you know is part of a Columbus-based youth sports charity, please contact me as well. I'm trying to link up with a Columbus-based charity for the college football season next year as well.
Your Highness,
sorry, that's long.
Yeah, you're good. I know you did a lot, the prop bets and everything else. If you were just to put a bet on who's going to win the game, if you're going with the point spread, I think it's 4.5 right now. Where would you lean as far as who's going to win the game, or as far as that point spread is?
So I'm on a couple radio shows, and obviously I get asked this question a lot because everybody wants to know who's going to win the game. I think the line is perfect, so I'm not going to touch it. I think when it came out at 3.5, there might have leaned to Seattle, but the money makes sense. The books don't get the Super Bowl wrong. There's more money bet on this one event than any other event in all of the United States. You will lose your job as a sportsbook operator if you get this wrong. They do not get the Super Bowl wrong. I will say that again. They do not get the Super Bowl wrong. It doesn't matter what the game finishes at. They will make sure that half the money's on one side, half the money's on the other, and they're getting their 10%. There's too much money. I mean, we're talking billions with a B, billions of dollars online legally. We're not even talking the illegal stuff. So my initial thought last week was to go under. I've actually flipped, I think maybe lean over, but I have no official play. The only official play that I feel really confident out, and then I heard some guy on ESPN give it out, and then I didn't like it anymore, was Mac Hollins over 24, 25 receiving yards. The reason being is because Seattle's secondary very, very good. Their weak point is tight ends and slot receivers. I think Mac Hollins is a great target for a young quarterback. Again, don't forget, Drake May, this is his second year in the NFL. This is his first time in the playoffs. This is his first Super Bowl. I said this last week when they did Denver. I said, take Denver in the points. I think Sam Darnold MVP. He's the favorite. I know it's not that. I'm not sticking my neck out there. There's another one. I think he only needs to throw about 220, 230 yards to get his over on passing. I like to zig when the whole world zags. I think I've heard from some New England fans that they think their defense is, the 85 Bears or something. They're not that good. You can't tell me 2 weeks ago that Jared Stidham is not a starting quarterback in the NFL, and then this week tell me how great your defense is, right? You can't go both hands on that one. So I think the defenses are good, but they're not great. The Seattle Seahawks games have hit the over in every single playoff game this year. Again, there's only 2, but still. My money early was I put a bet on Seattle money line, but I'm not super confident. I think I'm going to stick to player props. I think over-unders and those kind of lines, they're just too sharp. They're too sharp. Don't bet Gatorade and don't bet coin flips. The house edge is too strong on those. I know a lot of casual fans like to bet those. The house edge is too good there.
WeWinUwin.com. It's where you can find his stuff. Also, go in there. Look, juicers. If you want to put the $60 up on your own, find somebody else in the chat there and maybe split it up if you want to. That's what I did with Phil, and we won Thanksgiving. We hit a square there, which was great. We're back in it again this year for the Super Bowl. We're doing that again this year. But WeWinUwin.com is where you can find them. Tell us where to find your podcast.
The YouTubes.
YouTube, yep.
The little @ symbol. Yeah, the little YouTubes. You got to put the S on there. Brody's. Come on. Brody's falling asleep on me today. He's over there playing Tetris on the computer.
I'm just getting ready for tomorrow's show, Your Highness. That's all.
He's doing pre-show prep.
So Albert Breer doesn't come on the show, so he thought he could take the day off. Not so fast, my friend. WeWinUwin.com for the website. You can find all our social media links there. But on the YouTubes, the little @ symbol, shut up and bet. Monday and Wednesdays, I do a live show where I go over all the games, tell you all my leans plays. This next Wednesday, I'm stealing one of your guests, John Gerber.
Oh, yeah, Gerb, yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm stealing him. Next Wednesday, he'll be on my live show that goes live. Guess what time it goes live, Tito?
I'm going to guess 4:20 p.m. That's just a stab.
Eastern. Yes, sir. You got it. Eastern. And it usually runs for about a half an hour, but I literally go over every hockey, college basketball. I tell you how I grade things, where my leans are, what my bets are. It's as they say, come see how the sausage is made, folks.
All right, we'll get you out of here. You got any advice for Jay-Z on how to tackle the day?
You know what? I just want to say something. I wish Bobby was on here because you guys did a lot of talking when I got off the air last week.
Yes.
About Michael Jordan and
yes.
Dennis Rodman. And okay. And I'm cool with being Dennis Rodman, but I got a couple little negotiating parts here. Number one, I'm not going to North Korea to do any diplomatic talk with any dictators. That's number one. I'm not going to North Korea. I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing a wedding dress or anything crazy like that. But you got to throw in Carmen Electra. Carmen Electra's got to be part of the deal, or I'm not being Rodman. That's all I'm saying. I'll clean the glass. I'll work the boards. I'll play a little defense. I'll dye my hair. I'll do everything else. I'll even go play for the Dallas Mavericks. But you got to throw in Carmen Electra.
Smart man.
All right, you're the man, buddy. We'll talk again next week.
Bro, I'm telling you, Brody, I don't know. You're focused on something else. I haven't seen your look in the camera real quick for the people at home. Look at.
I'm looking.
You have a wonderful Super Bowl, sir. We'll see you back next week.
You too, Your Highness.
All right, that was Your Highness there. WeWinUwin.com. Love having him on. Yes, Phil mentioned it was a long blank Your Highness segment today. LOL. Yes, it was. We kind of had to audible a little bit there, but I love having him on. He's always great. So go buy a square. I mean, I don't care. It's fun. It makes it more fun to watch the Super Bowl. Coming up next, we will tell you what's got us juice. Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Every great team starts with a playbook, a plan to move the ball down the field and score. Your business, it's no different. Whether you're expanding, hiring, or upgrading equipment, you need a game plan to make every dollar count. And that's why it's important to have an experienced banking team on your side. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, President of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses design their winning playbook.
Thanks, Bobby. That's where Riverside Bank excels in our relationships with our clients. Our commercial banking team helps local businesses design winning strategies, from cash flow management to growth financing, so you're ready for every fourth quarter decision.
It's important to always have a plan and to never leave your business to chance. If you need help, call an audible with the team that knows your success and our success are closely aligned. Look for our new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here 4 hours.
This is Morning Juice.
All right, final segment of the program. Thursday for most of America. Friday for Jay Hove over here.
Friday for me.
Where are you heading again? Colorado?
Colorado, going out to Beaver Creek. Never been. They don't have a ton of snow.
Yeah.
But they're going to have enough. And
that's good.
We're going to go out and try and learn how to ski.
Something, and I never thought we'd get to this point on this show. Have any of us lost a pet, a parent, a friend in the last 24 hours?
I'm good.
Are you good there, buddy?
Good as well. Yep.
Okay, I'm good. Okay,
good.
so this might actually
this might be a good one.
This might be a good what's got you juiced. Unless I get a text maybe midway through. Oh, hey, Jeff, by the way, dog got hit by a car. Yeah, something like that. Then okay, fire it away, buddy.
That's why you don't.
Nope, wrong one. Sorry.
That's legs.
That'll get you juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right.
All right, now
Yes.
let's hear from Schlegs once I fade this out and turn this up.
That's why you don't talk trash. Just go do your job. You suck. You're getting beat. You know, like, what are we talking about? I don't even know how to explain it.
I think Paul Brown once said, when you win, say little. When you lose, say less.
Yes.
Mr. Anthony Schlegel would echo those thoughts. What has me juiced today, guys? Jackets on an absolute roll. And I like this from Zach Wierenski last night, talking about as he finishes up, first half sort of this season and heading over to the Olympics. Somebody asked him last night after that game, now that your kind of season's on a pause, who do you play for, Zach?
Play for
United States of America.
So there you go. Hopefully he can go over there to Milan, get the job done, win the gold for the U.S. of A. Also, Thitoff.
Yes.
No Jaylen Brown, no Sam Hauser against Houston. It's going to be a tough one. Went to bed at halftime. Celtics were up 6 or 7, I think it was, 7, 8 points, something
42.
like that. There you go. Yep. Woke up, and they absolutely smoked them. So that was fantastic. So that all has me juiced. Thursday, I did see snow in the forecast tomorrow morning on the news this morning. That did not have me juiced, but nevertheless, Jay-Z, what is
what it is.
juiced,
So
sir?
hopefully only about an inch, so it won't be too bad here. Got me juiced. This is my last show for a while now, I guess.
With us or?
Well, with you guys, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with you guys. I next couple of weeks get to go do a little skiing, and then I got the Buckeye Cruise. I get home, and then about 4 days later, I leave to go down to get some sunshine. So the next couple of weeks got me juiced to be doing some traveling and raising some money for cancer research and all that good stuff, and just having some good times, reuniting with a lot of guys, who I played with back in the day on the Buckeye Cruise. It's kind of like a big reunion in a way.
Yeah.
So we get to see and catch up with a lot of people. But next couple of weeks here for the Hove is going to be pretty nice.
I find myself, I think when I hear you say something like that, the first question pops into my mind that I want to ask you about the cruise. It makes me think that I hold grudges. Okay, and I'll explain it to you. That, like, I wonder. I was going to ask you if there's an offensive lineman who you played with that missed a block one time and you got absolutely destroyed. Would you still bring it up with him today?
Probably not.
See,
now, granted, it happened quite a few, maybe more than I want to admit, so I don't even know which one to go with. I mean, we did have a defensive end who started right tackle for us after 2 weeks of playing right tackle. But yeah, I wouldn't probably.
See, I would. I would always bring that kind of crap up.
Nah, I did that once, and
oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, you just tried to be funny and just.
Well, it wasn't an offensive lineman. It was a tight end. And, those are awkward conversations.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So just forget about it. I try to put it in the back of my head.
I'm looking at the forecast. It says 1 to 3 inches. Oh. Now, wait. Now, here's the thing. This is where you turn this into a positive. Call up Fish. Try to get the free hotel room. Tell them you don't feel comfortable driving in 1 to 3 inches of snow. And I think you get the hotel room then if you wanted.
To do
around
what?
the corner.
Party time.
Party time.
Party time.
Thought they'd just be at home.
Party time USA.
Hey.
1 to 3 inches of
I
snow.
think Miley Cyrus might have partied a little too hard over the years.
That is fair. That is fair. I do see a
Child
48.
fame.
I do see a 48 on here next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now that has me juiced, Tito.
That does not have me juice. That just means ice. Because it's going to go back down to freezing the next day.
At least it'll feel warm though
Well,
when you go out
for
and
a
step
day.
on it.
When you fall on the ice and you're stranded there because you threw out your back, it'll be the sun will be on your face. Maybe I don't know. Changing of the seasons thing. Spring training starts up here in a couple of weeks for baseball, which obviously does not affect
Big
the
deal
weather
for the
here.
show.
Huge deal.
Bobby's fired up.
I think Bob's doing research on that as we speak right now. He wants to find out who that potential back end starter for the Guardians is this year. But do you I get really excited with the excited's the wrong word for the changing of the seasons though. No, don't it's interesting. The first couple of times what will happen inevitably, it seems like it gets to around we have a day of 55 degrees. And then obviously it gets cold again after that. But just that first time being outside when it's that warm juices me. The first time when we get the fall chill, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That part, I love those times. I say it now, but maybe a couple weeks ago my answer would have been different. I don't think I want to live in a place that's got the same kind of weather year round.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fall is my favorite. I mean, it may be football season, but it is when that weather, when you do walk outside, you're like, all right, I can wear a long sleeve and just be comfortable all day long.
Yeah.
There's something to that. The snow, I could do without as much snow as we have this year.
Yeah.
I like the last 20 years of my life here in Columbus where we haven't really had a ton of snow.
Right.
Maybe a couple of storms here and there, but, I do like the season change. Springtime is a little yucky just because you want to be outside. It's kind of nice, but it's still windy and, yucky, wet. But, come May, it's going to be beautiful for a few months.
What's got me juiced, last night, my son, one of the dads called me up and said, hey, we're going over to the community center to just, shoot around, let the kids play some hoops. Does Artie want to go? And I said, yeah, and he picked him up and took him over there. And I went over there for the last, they were supposed to go for like an hour, and they ended up playing for 2 hours. And so these 9-year-old kids, there's these twins, and then another kid, and Artie was out there. And I love the fact the dad set it up. And they were, they were out there just playing 2-on-2 basketball. And they were doing call your own foul, call travel. Like, they were doing it the way you should do it. Mm-hmm. And I'd forgot, like, when I was watching that, I'd forgotten how much I would do stuff like that as a kid versus all the organized stuff all the time. Whereas it seems like most of what Artie's basketball is organized practices, organized like events where there's like a clinic type of thing. And he doesn't do that much. And it was so much fun to watch these kids, all 9-year-old kids, all buddies, out there playing their butts off and able to solve disputes amongst themselves, not having a referee or a dad say, hey, no, wait, that was traveling. Nope, that's offensive foul, whatever. And be able to just kind of talk through it and watching that like unbridled joy. I'm not even sure I'm using that phrase correctly. I've heard people use it before, and it seems like it would apply here. Maybe
it sounded really good.
It did. But
you just kept going with
you're
that
painting a picture. I was seeing the kids' smiles on their faces.
Okay, what would bridled joy be then? If it's unbridled joy, that means like probably like careless and
unlimited or
unbridled joy. We're going to look that up.
Bridled joy.
I don't know what bridled and unbridled. Like what would something be bridled? That's what I'd like to know. As I pause.
I would say keep talking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read.
That wasn't an easy pop-up on the Google machine.
It was, that's okay, though. By the way, quick update here, too. Sweden leads Germany 3-1 in women's hockey in the third period. So if you had Sweden in your pool and Bodie,
you had that pool.
You don't have bridled yet?
So when I tried to type in bridled, it just keeps saying, do you mean unbridled joy? So
well, you have to have something. Okay.
What does bridled mean?
Okay, here's what it is. I got it now.
Bridle. Put a bridle on a horse.
Yes, a bridle is something like a saddle and bridle. Like it contains the horse.
Okay, so
unbridled joy
would be like
uncontained.
Which is now very awkward.
The most joy.
Because I had my son wearing a saddle while playing. So it was unbridled joy for the other three, but bridled joy for my
That's unfortunate.
For my son. Teeth like John Elway. No, I'm just kidding. That teeth like John Elway. He's a good kid. He's got braces. Anyway, on his legs. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. Thank you all the chatters. We appreciate it. Jay-Z, enjoy your extended vacation.
Yes, thank you.
What we call around here a carpenter. And we will be back tomorrow. We will have AJ Hawk tomorrow. We'll also have Lee Sterling. Paramount Sports is going to join us to give us Super Bowl bets.